Well, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farbach. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is in Washington on Tuesday for a closely watched White House meeting with President Donald Trump, as Kyiv looks to secure continued U.S. backing after months of shifting signals from Washington. Now, the visit follows talks in London on expanding UK-Ukraine defense cooperation and comes just days after Ukraine's unprecedented strike on the Iran-Russia supply route in the Caspian Sea, which has prompted fresh threats from Tehran. Joining us now is Mariia Ionova, Ukrainian MP and co-founder of the Ukrainian Women's Congress. Good to have you back with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Hello, Sasha.
So we have President Zelenskyy in the United States, in Washington on Tuesday. That's because of the funeral of very much a Russia hawk, the late Senator Lindsey Graham. So what do you expect when President Zelenskyy meets President Trump? What kind of energy will there be? What is Zelenskyy going to be asking for?
First of all, of course, this visit comes under very sad very complicated circumstances, as you have mentioned, because Lindsey Graham, senator, he was a very great friend of Ukraine, of democracy, and really was very stick on this strong sanction policy to Russia Federation. And we know that for many years he stood firmly with our country and also advocating for stronger sanctions, as I have mentioned, because he is an author of many drafts of legislation against Russia, and really consistently argued that supporting Ukraine is an investment in really Americans' own security, not only Ukrainian. And that is why, of course, his passing is a tremendous loss, and I hope we will always remember his contribution to Ukraine's fight for freedom. But unfortunately, really, this mission is taking place, the visit of Zelenskyy in shadow of this loss. But at the same time, of course, it also creates an opportunity for Ukraine, for President Zelenskyy meeting President Trump. And I hope that the focus will be on the substance, because rather than symbolism, because for us, first priority is clear that the future of Senator Graham's sanctions legislation. And I know also that President Zelenskyy will not only meet with President Trump, but also with Congress, representatives, and they will discuss, yes, because we have to increase pressure on Russia Federation. And I think that if this legislation will be adopted, it will be a great step forward, also to peace negotiations, to make it in a diplomatic more way. But I also think when you're asking me what results also we would like to achieve during this visit, because of course, Ukraine needs greater clarity, on our, if I can say, long-term defense cooperation with the United States. And this includes continued military assistance and also the developments on joint defense production. Including Patriot-related capabilities and expanding Ukraine's own defense and industrial base, because you see how Russians, by ballistic, it's really very fast. And of course, we need also our defense system also need to be more operative in this regard. And finally, what we expect also from this visit, it's also for us, we would like to know a clear understanding also of the American strategy for ending Russia's war against Ukraine, because we also hear in recent days that different statements, including from the aggressor, the terrorist leader Vladimir Putin, who really continues to demonstrate, that he will continue his attack and he will continue killing Ukrainians because he's about his announcement, the mobilization. So that is why I think that we also, together with our allies and partners, should not only to have announcement and statements, but also to make these statements and announcement into action. So to make, more pressure on aggressor, not only with the sanction policy, but also with a stronger defense cooperation and really a clear common strategy for achieving a just and lasting peace.
Mm-hmm. Mariia, you mentioned military assistance. That's something that Ukraine needs more of, more than just statements and declarations, as you've said. One of those things I remind you, you already mentioned it there a little bit in terms of the anti-ballistic defense. We're looking at Patriot batteries, those interceptors, those are key. That's what Ukraine needs right now, relentless Russian attacks across the country to protect against the Russians with that. President Trump had said that, yes, there would be some kind of more licensing or Patriot batteries that could be produced, in fact, on the European continent. Also, the Polish government has said that they're willing and they're in kind of talks of this trilateral cooperation with Ukraine, the U.S., and Poland itself. But what about really concrete deals? We don't have those details yet in terms of when this will happen or where this will be and how it will look like. Do you think Zelenskyy will get kind of some sort of tangibles on this trip? Trump seems to be more in a better mood. He likes a winner, as we've known. We've seen this. We've seen more drone attacks on Ukraine's favor. Do you think he's going to give us some tangibles in this regard?
Oh dear, our friends. For us, we understand that we are also our brave Ukrainian armed forces. We show the results, but believe us, in very complicated conditions and also by a very high price. And when you're asking me about this Polish-Ukrainian and Polish-American cooperation on producing weapons, I would not, of course, overemphasize the question of where, for example, Patriot missiles are produced. Whether they are manufactured in Poland, Ukraine, or another allied country is, I think, it's a second issue. Sorry, I don't want to to give bad news, but we also have to realize that the key question is really much simpler. It's about if they're available, if they will be available, for example, when Ukraine needs them, and are they available in sufficient numbers? Because unfortunately, we have lack of Patriots. So that is why our objective should be to ensure that Russia sees no opportunity, to disrupt production, delay deliveries, or exhaust our Ukraine's air defense. So I think that the more diversified the production and supply chain, the more resilient it becomes. And that is an interest of Ukraine, of Poland, the United States, and I think that the entire alliance, because this is why I hope of the practical, if I can say, outcomes of the meeting which we are discussing with you between Presidents Trump and Zelenskyy is really a long-term commitment to expanding, the production of Patriot missiles and other really very critical for us air defense capabilities, because predictably quantity and speed of delivery matter for more than geography of production. So that is why I think that the stronger Ukraine's air defense becomes, I think that it's less opportunity for Russia to terrorize our cities, our energy infrastructure, our civilian people, and of course also our neighbors. Also, let's be honest, because the fewer missiles that reach the targets, the less leverage the Kremlin has. So I think that that is why also it will be more opportunity for our diplomacy, to continue discussions, but no escalation. So I think that that is how we should measure success, not only by location of the production of the factory, but also whether Ukraine has an air defense shield strong enough to deny Russia the illusion that it can achieve its objectives through this awful missiles terror.
Right. At the same time, understood what you're saying. But then if we have the diversity of actual location, let's say if that production is moved somewhere in Central Europe or even anywhere in Europe, that would definitely, I think, expedite what can be put onto the front lines in cities in Ukraine. So we'll have to see if when we do get information like that, potentially on this trip that Zelensky's on right now. Well, look, we'll have to close it there. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure speaking with you, giving us the latest there from Ukraine. Mariia Ionova, Ukrainian MP. Thank you. And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but do stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.